Well, sometimes things are tough. You need someone there by your side to help you through it. And when a Marion woman found herself without a home, all seemed hopeless, but she got the help that she needed. News 3's Paul Wilcoxon has that story.
I don't think we could have kept going much more.
As we go about our lives, we tend to do so with little appreciation of things we just assume we'll always have, like food, clothing, and shelter. But what happens when one, two, or all three of those are taken away?
I pray every night. I pray and I thank God. And I'll say, I don't want to be back in that situation no more.
This is Rhonda Sturgeon. For 13 months, she lived in her truck, moving around to different parking lots, trying to sleep, and doing so in the heat and the cold, not knowing if or even when it would end.
We piled on the blankets, and my daughter would be back there sleeping, and I'd be sitting crying because I didn't know how to get out of the mess I was in when there's no place really going to help you.
Sturgeon lived that comfy life of taking things for granted, a home, all the food she could eat, and clean clothes daily. But all that quickly came to an end sometime after she was diagnosed with cancer.
I had it made before I ended up with cancer. And then after I went through everything with it and trying to trust people to pay my bills.
And putting her trust in those people cost her dearly.
My trust in most people is not there no more.
To get by, Sturgeon has been a regular at places like the Ministerial Alliance in Marion. That's where she met the person she calls her guardian angel.
When I want to give up, she's like, I'm not going to let you.
If you ask Assistant Director Tammy Dodd, she'd tell you she's nobody special. But to Sturgeon, Dodd's been one of the few people she can count on.
It was hard for me to go home and lay down in my comfortable bed when I knew people were sleeping on the streets or wasn't having their 3 meals a day. Or I just want to make people's life better.
Sturgeon recently found a place to live through the tireless work by her advocate.
It's like, we've got a chance now.
But that process was not ideal.
Once you get evicted and you get that on your record, you're done. And it took a year and a month to finally find a place willing to work with us.
And that eviction made it difficult for Sturgeon to find a place to rent, regardless of her prior history.
That eviction just stuck a red flag, and that's where Tammy comes in. She finally found somebody to rent to us.
But what can be done to help more people in situations like Sturgeon? Dodd has some advice.
Don't be afraid to jump in there, but at the same time be prepared of what you're jumping into, because it is going to be rough. It's not going to be easy.
And as Sturgeon points out, there's not just an end-all solution. It takes the community to come together to help.
I know there's better days ahead. This has changed my whole outlook, the way that I live and go through my days now. It's just something you don't wish on anybody.
In Marion, Paul Wilcoxon, News 3.